So this is a video about torque. So how do you torque large fasteners without spending huge amounts of money on multipliers and wrenches? Well, the method I use goes back to just basic old fundamentals of high school, as torque is force times distance. Most of you experienced that somewhere. So I made this homemade wrench out of a 3/4 drive head and piece of steel. I machined it where it would fit in a piece of 2-inch Schedule 80 water pipe. And it's light, makes it lighter. So I got different length pipes. In this case, I'm going to tighten this a nut for 1.25 inch bolt. But if you take this wrench, which is thereabouts 5 feet, close to 5 feet, and you pull on with a fish scale, and you can calibrate your fish scale just by using some simple calibrated weights. Pick them up, pick up a 100-pound weight, and make sure your fish scale is accurate. But then when you connect your fish scale to the end of this bar, and you got to pull at 90 degrees or you won't get an accurate torque. So as long as you're pulling 90 degrees to the length of your wrench, it's pretty simple. Force times distance. Pull on that with 100 pounds, and a 5-foot lever gives you 500 foot-pounds. So anyway, I use that a lot with heavy equipment, and I've put pipes on the end of this thing, and I actually twisted the square drive off of one of those heads. I've gone up to, seemed like once I estimated like 1,600 foot-pounds. But it's better than it's pretty precise. Actually, the way you calibrate torque wrenches, they use a system, a lever arm that lifts a weight in a similar fashion. So it's a fairly accurate method of torquing fasteners, and you can call it homemade, I guess you call it, but if it works, it's a lot better than just beating on it with an impact or guessing at it. That's all I got, other than I'm going to use a thread locking compound on it. On the threads, it's on this hitch. That's going to tighten the ball up. And in addition to locking, which I don't ever plan on taking it off, but you can heat it, or you can use the blue removable type. But the thread compound works good to keep corrosion out. And I think Loctite and some other people make a product called thread sealant. I'm kind of surprised you don't see much use of that, but keeping stuff out of the threads is really worth a lot when you have to go back and take things apart later for service. Later.